Hello, it's been a little while, but welcome to the Bear Pit TV, sponsored by the footballing app OneFootball. As we know, the fixtures came out this Thursday and it threw up some interesting clashes with some notable games at notable times. To kick us off, we've got QPR at home. The QPR had a very difficult end to last season, and if that form continues going into the start of this fixture, it does on paper represent an easy fixture. By no means is this a given that we'll win, but I just wanted something that kind of gives us a reasonable opportunity to get 3 points early doors, because I do worry if we have a difficult start to the season, things will turn quickly for Jones, as it did for Gary Rowett. Following on from QPR, first away game is Charlton away, and I think that's a really good fixture, a team that's just come up from League One. They will be riding high following their promotion, however, this is a team that was in League One just a few months ago, and we should have enough to beat them. A ground we've not been to for a long time. It'll be interesting to visit the Valley. Following Charlton, we've got some really interesting home fixtures coming up. Leeds early doors and then Derby. Two on paper very difficult fixtures, and that will really test Stoke to see where we are up to at this point. Following on from this, you look for the usual significant days within the calendar. Boxing Day, we've got Sheffield Wednesday at home. It's the first time in God knows how long that we've had a home game on Boxing Day. Somebody mentioned it in the comments, but for me, Wigan or Villa 5-6 years ago is ringing a bell. We've had real bad luck with away day fixtures over Boxing Day recently, so it's a welcome relief that we're finally at home and we don't have to mind with all the transport difficulties that come with a Boxing Day fixture. The same can't necessarily be said for our New Year's Day fixture, where we've got Huddersfield away, which is going to be interesting one. I really don't know what Huddersfield were going to get. They obviously had a disastrous season in the Prem last year, and deep down I get the feeling they won't necessarily be challenging, but an interesting fixture nonetheless. And then finally, looking at our run-in, we've got Leeds, Birmingham, Bristol, Brentford and Nottingham Forest. Purely looking at the position of these clubs towards the back end of last season, it represents a reasonably difficult end to the season. I'd like to think that we're in a solid position, that we can at least solidify a playoff place before things get too sticky, or maybe I'm being a little bit optimistic. Nonetheless, seeing the fixtures released shows that we're not too far away from the return of Stoke, and the sooner that comes, the better. On a slight side note, we've still not signed anyone officially. All the Scholes has come out in the press this week and said that several signings will be landing next week. The sooner we get these done, the better, because I think most Stokies will start to be feeling a little bit anxious now that nothing's happened. It seems to be a common trait of Stoke that we seem to wait to the back end of summer. But hopefully, based on Scholes' comments, that is something that we won't be doing this year. He's also commented that we're going to be focusing on British recruitment, as the club seem to think that's more appropriate for the Championship. So not long to go now, just under 2 months, and we'll be back with Stoke. A really difficult season to call this one. I really haven't got a clue. I'm only going to hope that we are at least challenging for the playoffs, if not better, but an extremely difficult one to call at this moment.